What's up, guys? Guns for Newbies back here, and today I wanted to go over the Sand Viper. I guess I don't even know what to call it. I'm just going to call it my problems with my Sand Viper. So I've had the Taran Tactical Sand Viper for some time now. Owned it probably close to 3 months, and the whole entire time I've had it, just had nothing but problems. So I've been waiting to put this video out because I haven't fully came to a resolve yet, and I really have been putting this off, hoping that it would be finished by now, and now I just have no idea how long it's going to take. So I figured I would just make a updated video so that way you guys would know kind of what's going on. So we'll start with, and there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this video, so I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but we'll just start this off. If you don't want to watch the whole video, we'll just cut right to the chase. It's been downright horrible. So hopefully that answers your question. If you're considering buying it, should you? I would say no. And so for the people that care to hear why, I'll explain that now. And it all started, so I ordered the gun, I got it in, went through my whole thing to get the gun checked out. I ended up in the second magazine when I first bought the gun, and it came coated in oil. Actually, I have pictures of it in my camera, and or at least I should. But I have the, and I'm going to upload some of this stuff here later on in the video. We'll take a break. I'll upload some photos of everything, and we'll just keep moving forward. And actually, if you go to the channel, I had made it post where you could see one of my buddies holding the Sand Viper, and you'll just see how coated that gun came. So I mean, it was completely oiled up. Bought it brand new from a Taran Tactical dealer. Hadn't been used or anything like that. And so in the second magazine, the gun seized up on me. The slide essentially got stuck in the rearward position like this. However, you could not release it. So no matter what you did, it would not go back into battery. It just was stuck in this, basically like this. Just would not move at all whatsoever. So obviously, that's not what anybody wants. So I ended up sending the gun back to Taran Tactical. They were great about overnighting the package back. And they had it. They probably had the gun for about 10 days. I talked to the manager a couple times, and he'd kind of kept me updated on things. I had to call, to be fair, but he would answer the phone and kind of tell me what was going on from what he could see. One thing that I noticed very quickly in the beginning was the fact that he wasn't able to actually talk to anybody, and that was a little bit concerning, as being a manager and just kind of seeing notes in the computer. So that was kind of my first red flag. Moving forward, the situation only escalated by there. So they fixed the gun, sent it back to me, coated in grease this time. Fixed it. And I get the gun back, and it's like every 10 shots I'd have at least one malfunction. So I reached back out. I said, hey, is this regular? I sent them a video. They said no. So I tried everything. I tried 115, 124, 147 grain, pretty much, all the typical stuff. I tried Blazer. I tried Southern Bellet. I tried MagTech. I tried literally all sorts of different ammunition. I actually put over 1,000 rounds in the gun of different stuff, trying to kind of fix or see what the gun ran right with. And then kind of looking around and reading on forums, I learned pretty quickly that wasn't really the case. So fast forward, I called him back again, sent him videos. He said it was not common. They sent the gun back in. A different guy reached out to me this time, was giving me updates. He said he was able to recreate the problem, which was a given. The gun just was no good. So then he sent it off to the machinist. I thought he was a machinist. He wasn't. And then I went back to dealing with the manager. And then, so I don't know who the other guy is, but he was the one letting me know what was going on with it, kind of just through email. And so I actually ended up asking him, if this doesn't get resolved in a timely manner, can I just get my money back? And he said that wasn't out of the question whatsoever. So I was like, well, I'll be patient and kind of see where we go from here. I really want the gun, so I'm just going to, kind of sit tight. And then as we got forward more, we started going a little bit further. We ended up, the second time around when I sent it back, and that's still where I'm at right now. It's been about 2 months, and I just have no idea how they fix anything. So I reached out to the guy, not the manager. I don't know what his position is there, but he physically said that they're working on it. They don't have any updates. He said give them 2 weeks is what he said. And the gun had already been there for a couple weeks. I said, whatever, you know what, I'll do another 2 weeks. It's not a big deal. I send stuff out all the time, so I'm used to waiting for stuff to get, ported, OptiCut, coded, all sorts of things. So I gave him 2 more weeks, and I reached back out to him like, hey, what's going on? And he said, I haven't had a chance to talk to the machinist this week. Didn't catch him. It'll be next week. So that kind of started to irritate me that, like, now we're getting weeks and weeks and weeks, and there's no updates. There's no idea what's going on. So I called back to the manager, tried to see what was going on there, and everything just continues to spiral. So he hit me with, okay, well, I'm going to try to get something figured out for you. We're going to try to get this figured out, blah, 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 XYZ. Give me 2 more weeks is what he said, and we'll have a plan. And so I initially talked to them, and I said, hey, I'm just tired of giving the 2 weeks. I'm tired of giving the 2 weeks because now these 2 weeks would have put us roughly about 6 weeks out. And he ended up just saying that, they're working on it and this, and that. I mean, there's a whole plethora of just excuses. This whole time I've been calling them. They haven't really kept me up to date on anything the second time around. And it's been actually kind of difficult to even get a hold of them. So I kind of noticed, and there's a lot of promises. Oh, well, Taran wants you to have, this gun. Will you guys get ahead of any other things? This, and that, blah, blah, blah. So I requested, why can't I just get a new gun? I mean, if this is going to take forever, why can't you guys just give me a new one, fix that one, and then if it's so good to go, you can sell it to somebody else. You guys can do whatever you want with it. Like, I'm kind of just tired of waiting at this point because we have no idea when this is even going to get fixed. And so they said that the issue is they're currently making pit Vipers. And I'm like, well, that's fine. Just make me a Sand Viper. And they said, well, they're not even geared up to do that. So the way their shop is set up, they set the shop up to do one or the other, and it goes through a big run. And then after they make the guns, then they switch back over to a different one. So depending on where you're at in that queue, it can be a super long time. So that was another concern that I had. So that the company does not have a physical, as of right now when I'm recording this, they do not have not one physical Sand Viper. In case you have an issue, you're SOL, flat out, like me. So, what else? There's just so much. I'm trying to do this all while it's fresh in my mind. I wrote a couple things down, but there's just so much. There's just no way I'll get through all of that. They just are all over the place. So they don't have anybody on site who, when you call customer service, there's nobody on site that can fix your gun. So that's something else that's crazy to me. There's nothing in-house essentially that's being done. They have one guy that is in-house, but he's not the actual machinist. Maybe it's just the gunsmith. And it seems like he does the minor stuff, and that's who I was talking to, who was talking about the refund. And then you have the manager for the customer service department, who essentially is a very nice guy, but he has no power to essentially do anything at all there. So he physically can't. He doesn't have access to anything. He's telling me oh, well, I see in the computer that there's this. However, he can't tell me specifics. He doesn't have pictures of my gun, this, or this, whatever the case may be. He doesn't know what's going on with it. He just says their go-to is give me 2 weeks. So if you have a problem, be prepared, be just ready for that. So then all that time passes by. We still are nowhere. And then he started saying, well, I've escalated it to the guy under Taran, and, we're going to get something figured out for you next week. So next week rolled around. It was week 7. And still in the same thing. Oh, we're really close. The guy I'm waiting on is he's not in yet today, and this and that, and a couple things. They're in meetings. I heard that. Oh, they're changing up some stuff, so they're all in meetings. So I have to wait until he's out so I can get something figured out. Long and behold, another week went by. So now we're week 8, which is where I'm at right now, and we're supposed to get stuff figured out today, and where we ended out is on Wednesday of this week, so 2 days ago. They said that they would give me a brand new gun, is what they said. So I told them, hey, I just want one with a black SRO, and then I had a Surefire on my old one that I wanted back. Fast forward to today. Yesterday, they're supposed to get stuff figured out, email me and call me with all the logistics of the new stuff. They never did. Today rolled around. I called 3 times. Nothing. About an hour ago, because I called 4.5 hours ago maybe, something like that, and then they didn't answer. And then I called back about probably 2 hours ago. No answer. And then I called back about an hour ago, and then he didn't answer. And then about 30 minutes ago, he called me back. So it took 3 times of calling just to hear back from him when supposedly on Wednesday he told me I'd get an email. I didn't hear anything. Thursday went by. I didn't call because I had a lot of work, and nothing happened. And then Friday came around, which is today, and I called, and then finally he called me back and then basically said, well, great news. We have your gun getting fixed. So at this point, I'm like, you just told me Wednesday I was getting a new gun. Now I'm getting my old gun. What is going on here? And he said, well, the new gun we have that's in store has damage on it. So they were planning on potentially sending me another damaged gun. So that'd be 2 for 2, which is pretty insane. And then so I said, quite frankly, I'm kind of getting tired of being in this runaround. We're kind of in a merry-go-round, like a just complete circus here. You don't know what's going on. We've been waiting weeks on weeks on weeks. You're constantly telling me you have this going on. And again, the manager's nice. But he just doesn't essentially manage anything. I mean, there's nothing for him to manage. Everything's outside of his office. There's nothing that essentially is on site for it. He can't just walk down the hallway and go ask the machinist what's going on. There's nothing on site. So everything gets delayed. Everything is put on somebody else. It's just this constant circle of, I got to talk to him. I need a week or I need 2 weeks. And then we left it as, your gun is repaired. It's on the way back to our shop because they don't make their guns in-house. And they don't have anybody on site. And they're not making Sand Vipers and all the other problems that they have right now, which aren't problems for them. They're a problem for the clients of Taran Tactical, essentially me. And anybody else who's watching this that wants to buy their gun, don't. So they're fixing my gun, I said. So here's what I want. When the gun comes back in, because it's already been repaired, supposedly, and they promised me all the guns, I haven't even covered any of this, but the first time the gun got fixed, they said, oh my God, this gun is going to come back to you. It's going to have no problems. They come out of there looking brand new, everything like that. So I have pictures of that. I'm going to upload at the end. The slide, so you have your slide rails essentially on the gun, right? So your slide rails are right here, and underneath where the slide rails are, it's just basically right here. So the bottom of, or I guess the top of the top of the frame here that comes in contact with the bottom of the slide, all the metal's gone. So you'll see that in the pictures and stuff like that. And they told me, oh, everything that comes back out of there comes back out looking brand new, this, and that. It's all good to go. There's nothing that's going to be essentially, they look brand new when they come back out. That gun came back missing coating, just not willing to work, anything like that. So then now, supposedly, my gun is fixed, and it's on the way back from the machinist this time. And actually, I think that's who did my gun the first time. So that's kind of what worried me, and that's what I said. I said, I really just don't want to be in this situation anymore with that gun. I want a refund. And he said, well, you bought it from a dealer, not us, so we can't do anything. So I said, you're telling me Taran won't refund me my money because I bought through one of his preferred dealers, is what you're telling me. And then he said, well, no, I didn't say that. So I'm kind of just in this area of, they really just don't want to help me, essentially, is what's going on. And I know they feel they're trying to, but I'm telling you, I mean, it's just everything is on somebody else. Everything just gets pushed out. I was told I was getting a new gun. Now I'm getting my other gun that's, which I have no problem receiving my old gun, but I know it's not going to come back fixed. So I told them, when the gun comes back, I want pictures before you release it to me, because I don't want you guys saying that I did something to it. I want to see how it came back from the machinist. I want pictures of it before I accept this. All they did was they put a new slide on it, supposedly, is what his notes in the system said. And I told him, well, that doesn't fix the problem. I had damage to my frame. No answers. He can't see the gun. He can't see pictures. He can't see what was done. He doesn't know what he's looking at until the gun gets there, because there's nobody on site. So that is currently where I am at in my situation. However, there's just so many promises in between here and there. They said that it was going to come back. It was going to be a new gun. There wasn't going to be any issues, anything like that. I really don't see that being the case. And I told them that if this doesn't get fixed, I want a refund. I highly doubt they're going to refund me on that either. I mean, it's clear that this is an issue. Also, when I was on the phone with him, he said, yours and the other Sand Viper that are having issues are in the queue to get fixed or get a new gun. And I said, so there's another one. There's another me out there that's currently going through these issues. And the ultimate deciding factor is that they told me they were going to give me a new gun. He said he didn't care if they had to buy it from a retailer or dealer and give it to me. And then now, here's where we're at. And that's just pretty crazy, considering the amount of money that goes into buying this gun. There's nobody that can fix your gun on site. They have their own proprietary recoil assembly, so you can't get any different springs if you wanted to change anything. Granted, they say that it's supposed to feed everything, but in my experience, it's really hit or miss. And I'm not the only one who has this issue, because there's somebody else out there, whoever you are. If you're watching this, you probably should comment, because this is one of the most premier guns that you can buy. And yet these are the issues that we're having. So the service department is not where you want to be in this situation. And ideally, my idea was, if I just get refunded, I'll just buy another Atlas, because they've been flawless. They've been straightforward with me. They do their work in house. And this isn't a video to say they're better than them. That's just what I was going to do in my situation, because I don't see it being reasonable to have a gun, have any sort of damage, and then the people that you send it back to aren't even the ones who physically are going to touch your gun. So I tried to simplify this video as much as I could, because I wanted to keep it under 20 minutes. And I knew that if I got all my stuff that I have written out together, I just knew that it would take me way too long to blow through it all. So I just wanted to cover the key factors of, you're going to be essentially waiting on something where there's nothing in-house that can be done. So the service department there is, let's just say, good luck. Next to that, you're going to be dealing with people that essentially there's nothing on site. So, I mean, no matter who you're dealing with, you're never going to deal with the people that you actually need to talk to. So, just from my experience, I'm telling you, and this has caused me I put my Pit Viper on consignment, because I do not want to be in this situation twice. So, where I'm at is, I've dealt with customer service issues, and I've been more than reasonable. I've always gotten answers. I've always gotten fixes, regardless of who it's been with. And I've had all sorts of different manufacturers. And I've never had, and granted, I've only had a couple, probably 4 issues, ever, which is pretty good considering how many I've had. But I'm telling you, if you're considering a Taran Tactical Sand Viper, you better really like that gun, and you better really be prepared for probably having 2 of them. Because if one of them has problems and you're going through anything like I'm going through, which is very possible, this is where you're going to be, and you will be without a gun for a long time, and you'll be without answers. And if it does get repaired, and it probably won't get repaired the right way, we'll go from there. So we're nearing kind of where I was trying to keep it under. So what we'll do is we'll go to the photos of the damage on the gun, and then we'll run through these photos, and then we'll come right back. And now that we're back, again, we've already passed where I wanted to be for the video. I tried to simplify everything as much as I could and just make it easy. Where we'll go from here is next week I want to give a update on my Atlas Artemis, and then from there we will see where we go with a couple more videos. It just depends on kind of how this timeline kind of progresses. Supposedly I'll be squared away next week. I'm not sure if that's the case. I was supposed to be squared away about a month ago. So stay tuned for how this progresses. If you have any similar experience with them, please be sure to comment below your experience and make your stuff known, so that way other people that are considering to purchase this can physically see it. All we see online is how cool these guns are, which they are, don't get me wrong, but you don't get to see the bad side of it, right? It's kind of like, you hear more about people's good experiences as opposed to bad, and here on this channel you're going to hear it all. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more information on and updates on the Sand Viper, and hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for joining.